This week, we're going to be talking about keeping a customer-centric culture in these times when we're all remote working, when we are social distancing, all of those things. So first of all, in case you don't know me, hi, I'm Jeannie. I'm Jeannie Walters. I am the founder and CEO of Experience Investigators. I've been doing customer experience work of some kind for about 20 years. And so I've had the privilege of consulting to brands like Verizon and Allstate, as well as lots and lots of nonprofits and education and healthcare and everything in between. So I love this work, and I love those of you who are doing this work with me, because it's about improving somebody's day. It's about making small adjustments as we move forward as a society to really make things easier for customers, to really reflect our brand in the most positive way we can, both to our teams and to our customers. So I'm really passionate about this work, and I think right now, everybody needs you more than ever. So these are all the different ways to reach me. I encourage you to reach out and connect and let me know what you're up to, because I would love to hear it. I know you're all doing some really important things. So thanks for being here, first of all. I know it's hard right now with all the unpredictability, and yet at the same time, we're still being asked to do our jobs. So the way I was describing this recently was how it feels like, we are doing these jobs plus. We are doing these jobs plus we're reacting to expectations that we didn't even know about a few weeks ago. We're doing these jobs plus we're managing our kids' learning right now, and we're trying to figure out how to get our groceries, and we are trying to plan ahead just for our family, just for our daily lives. So the fact that you're here, that you're showing up, that you're investing in really learning on behalf of your customers, I just want to commend you for that. That's a big step, and you should be recognized for that. So thank you. And thank you for being here for your team and your customers. That matters, and that ripple effect will go a long way in today's world. So thanks for taking the time today. Thank you for what you're doing every day. And thank you for just showing up on behalf of your team and your customers. And thanks for showing up for me. This means a lot to me to be able to be here with you. So thank you for that. Personally, it means a lot too. So let's talk today about how we can continue as leaders to really focus and deliver on a culture of that really represents the best of our brand, that is customer-centric in times of social distancing. How do we do this? Some of our brands have never had this opportunity before to serve customers remotely. Some of our teams have never worked remotely before. So how do we show up every day and be our best selves on behalf of our customers and our brand? And how do we keep that relentless focus on customers in these uncertain times? So today I'm going to go over a few things, and if you're interested in these things too, there is a blog from this week about it. You can find it on the site. But oops, sorry, my clicker is a little extra today. So here are the things we're going to talk about. Setting the stage. How do we do that when things are so unpredictable? How do we continue to look for those gaps in the customer journey, those pain points that we know our customers are having? How do we turn empathy into an action, which I think is the most important thing here? And then ramp up your gratitude and celebrate those victories. We all need the wins right now. And personally, for me, gratitude has been a big part of kind of getting through this time in the best possible way. So first of all, let's set the stage. What does that mean in today's times? Well, in many cases, the ways that we've been able to set expectations with our teams and with our customers it's just out the window right now. We might have had a grand plan in January. We might have been able to, we might have been responsible for turning in our annual plans by like October of 2019. Well, that plan probably looks different now in today's world. Our supply chains are different, the demand is different, the expectations are different, the marketplace is different. There's so much that we don't know at this point. So instead of saying, yeah, carry on, just power through, which is a message I'm seeing a lot of, I think that we need to take a step back and say, what can we set really clear expectations on? Because it might not be, okay, team, this is where we're going this year. It might be, okay, team, this is where we're going today. Let's have a stand-up meeting, and every day in the morning, just set those expectations for today. Because the other thing that's happening is we are changing on the fly. We are creating new ways for our customers to get served all the time. So if we know that customers need a certain kind of help right now, we want to make sure we're setting expectations for our customers in that way, in that really clear, distinct way. We also want to do that for our teams and say, this is how our customers need us right now. Here are the resources and the tools and the communication pieces that will help you get through this together. So clear communication, but kind of minimize it right now. Make it about the now. Make it about what we can predict in the next few days, what we can see, the way we can set those expectations. The other thing we want to look at is how do we continue to look for those pain points and those gaps in the customer journey? Because if we're not continuing to stay focused on that, let's say we do get through this, we are going to get through this at some point. So let's say we get to the other side of this, and then we realize that we've created all these additional pain points for our customers. That's a whole other set of problems. Right now, if we can minimize those pain points just in the journeys that are super important to them right now, that's a great way to serve our customers. And I've been saying this a while, so forgive me if this sounds repetitive, but this is where your customer journey maps are incredible tools for you. If you have a really great customer journey map, you have a way to look at, okay, this was a pain point before. We knew that this was happening to our customers. Is that still a pain point today, or is there something even more important that we should be addressing? How can we really prioritize those improvements and those innovations on behalf of our customers for what they're going through today? The other thing this allows you to do is if you do create new processes, new tools, new ways to reach out to your customers, then you want to make sure you put that into the end-to-end journey. Because if you act like this is temporary or a silo to their journey, then again, it's going to create conflict in other parts of the journey for them. That's why understanding that end-to-end experience is the best way to do this. But I understand that a lot of people don't have journey maps yet. That's okay. What I would recommend is build some right now. They don't have to be super fancy. They don't have to be as robust as what I'm talking about. If you know that you have a critical point in the journey that is a struggle right now, a challenge on the inside and the outside, that your customers have a pain point around it, go ahead and map it out. Look for ways to improve that part of the experience on behalf of your customers. I think sometimes we get really caught up in this idea of it's all or nothing for customers. What I think is the best way to go forward right now is to really look for those quick wins. Look for ways that you can serve your customers in these immediate wins that we can give them and each other. The other thing I like about this, as far as the culture part of it, if you have a problem to solve, if your team, who maybe is far-flung and working remotely, if they have a problem to solve together, then that gives a sense of community. And that helps you build the culture from the inside out. So sometimes we look at problems and we think, oh no, how are we going to do this? I think if you can find the right challenge for your customers right now, if you say, you know what, we know this is causing our customers a lot of pain. We know that this is the end result we ultimately want, but we don't know how to get there. Hey, you five, you guys are my team on this. Figure it out. Give us a plan. Give us a journey map. Call a few customers, talk to them about what they're going through, call a few other team members, build that cross-functional support in your organization. It's a great way to build culture and community as we're all far-flung. So I encourage you to think about that, really prioritize those challenges and look for ways to solve them. This is my favorite one. Make empathy an action. Empathy is often something we talk about a lot in customer experience. And customers have told us, I think the latest number I saw was that more than 70% of customers don't feel empathy from brands. They just don't. They think they think they're a number. They think that it's all process oriented. They don't feel heard. They don't feel cared for. They don't feel like they really get what they're going through. In times like these, empathy is so, so, so important. And I think we're all learning that. We're all experiencing that on a personal level as well. And so one of the ways that you can do this, and the best companies in the world do this anyway, they know that numbers are not enough to create empathy. Reports are not enough. Saying, just like I just shared, saying something like, well, 70% don't believe that we are showing our customers empathy is a lot different than telling a customer story, telling an individual story of struggle and saying, you know what, this person called us, they needed us, and we weren't there. And so these are the consequences. Better yet, share those positive ones where you say, we were there, and this is the note we got back from that customer and how grateful she was that we were there exactly when she needed us. This is when those individual stories can bring a lot of power and insight to your team. So encourage not only sharing those stories on a regular basis. Some people do this daily in their stand-ups, some people do this weekly, but really sharing it in a human way. Don't just send a paragraph around and say, good job. Really look for ways that you can share that person's story on a very human level. Some people do this by reading them. Some people do that like out loud at the team, which I think is great. I've also seen things where they include pictures of the customer that they're talking about, with the customer's permission, of course, and even creating kind of a mini persona if they can't really showcase who the customer is, but saying, you know, this is who this was. She was struggling with this. You can probably imagine she was having a bad day, and this is what happened. So really finding those real moments of humanity to share, because that's what we need right now. We need to connect on that level. I would also encourage you to look at your verbatims from your surveys and share those as well. Sometimes this is also a great way to encourage engagement from your frontline staff. So if you have people who are responding to customers all day, every day, ask them to share a story. Say, tell us the best thing that happened this week. Tell us the best way we showed up. How were you able to show up and represent our brand in the most amazing way for our customers? Ask them to share those stories, because then that also puts their radar up a little bit about how can we not only show empathy, but how can I bring this empathy back to the team and show them how much it matters. So really anything you can do to make empathy in action right now is super important. Ramp up your gratitude. This one has been, I think I've talked about this every week that we've been in this situation, because I think it's so important. But in my own personal life, I found that this is really important, because gratitude has been shown that if you can stop and practice gratitude, you, first of all, it does a lot for your emotional well-being. It actually re-triggers some things in your brain. So it's like an optimism creator. So there's a lot to be said about that. But then on the flip side, in today's environment, especially with these customer experience teams, we need to really be very proactive about looking for ways to thank people who are going above and beyond for our customers. So one of the ways that we can do this is saying things like, hey, you did a great job with that customer, but then really showcase them publicly and say, I know a lot of us have Slack channels and things like that. Just say, hey, did you guys know that John really came through for us this week, and he really helped us deliver to a customer who needed what we had. And so thanking them in a public way right now can be really powerful as well. And looking for creative ways to thank people. I heard a great story about a healthcare worker who was not one of the not one of the providers, not one of the doctors and the nurses, but actually was kind of up front in an information booth, and she was shooing everybody away. That was her job. And it was at a facility, not a big hospital, but like a nursing care facility. And she was getting kind of blue because she felt like she was always the one saying, go away, you can't see your loved ones, and it's a hard position to be in. She was also told that she loved to decorate her little office, and she was told she couldn't do that right now because it was too risky to bring things in. So somebody who knew that she was doing this, who was really grateful, one of the administrators actually bought those little decals for windows and put them outside her window to celebrate, and got just like really funny little emojis and things like that and put them outside the window. She could see them, but they didn't run the risk of bringing anything into the facility. And it was just a way to say thank you. It was a way to acknowledge that she was in a tough spot and they were trying to bring her a little joy. And so that went a long way for her. I just thought that was such a great creative story. So look for those creative ways that we can help one another and acknowledge one another right now. And finally, we all need the wins right now. We all need them, and our people need them too. So celebrate those victories, and not just the things that maybe look positive, But in today's environment, frankly, some of your numbers might dip, right? You might have lower NPS scores than you have in the past. You might have people complaining that your stores aren't open. And so they're disappointed, and that's going to be reflected in those CX metrics that we track. So, what I would recommend here is that you look for why. And if they're telling you, we're so disappointed that we can't go engage with your employees. This is another thing I'm hearing. Customers are saying, I miss it. I miss seeing your employees. This is happening with healthcare and with fitness a lot, right? Like people are saying, I so miss going to the gym because I love the employees. Share those wins. Even if they're not really, the big wins that we want, they still are super important to reflect back. Our customers love us so much that they're disappointed that we can't deliver to them right now. Those types of things are really important to provide context around right now for not only your team, but your leadership as well. And then I would also say, look for the victories with your customers and celebrate with them. So if you were able to deliver something that was super important to them, maybe that delivering those birthday decorations were super important because now they're having an at-home birthday for somebody that they didn't expect to do that for. Follow up, ask about the birthday, ask for those photos, and then share those with your team. We need those wins right now. So look for all those little victories that we can celebrate together. So these are the 5 ideas. Set the stage, continue to look for gaps and pain points in your customer's journey, make empathy in action, ramp up that gratitude. Just on a personal level, I encourage you to do that too. And then celebrate those victories. It's hard right now. Let's just acknowledge that. It's hard right now. And so the more that we can look for ways to kind of lift our team up and tell them that the best they can do for our brand, the best they can do for our customers is be their best selves by following these things too, then I think we will get through this with a little more optimism and a little more grace. And our customers will appreciate that. They see us. Our customers definitely see who we are in times like this. And so let's show them who we are in the best possible way we can. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. If so, make sure to subscribe. We do these webinars every Friday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on LinkedIn Live and right here on YouTube. And if you've got a question, don't be shy. Ask in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. You're here for your customers. I'm here for you.